Dalene95, and today I'm going to be doing one of my favorite things, and that is contemporary painting. I just love to do contemporary painting. But before I start any painting, there's a couple of housekeeping things I want to chat to you about. First of all, 2 days ago, so it must have been 93, I did a video in which I had background music, and I had a comment, I think it was from Michelle Scott-Brzezinski, who said that the music was a little bit too loud and was distracting, and she's quite right, it probably was. But just to let you know that I'm having a bit of soundproofing issues here in my new studio. The quality of the sound is great, but unfortunately I'm now on the opposite side of the property. I live on a rather large property, and I'm now on the opposite side of the property to where I was before in my old art room, and I'm relatively close to a main road, and the flipping trucks come down this road and it picks up on the camera. So I need to get myself one of those little sort of ear camera microphone efforts. But that can come later. I just got to keep reminding myself that this is not a professional system. This is just me having fun, teaching you guys some stuff that I know and sharing my art with you guys. So please forgive the trucks that you might hear going past. I'm not going to put music over this to try and drown that out, because then I'll drown myself out. So thank you, Michelle, for that suggestion. Please just bear with the road noise. The other thing I want to say is, check this out. See the makeup, enjoy it. It doesn't happen very often. I've never worn makeup before, and the only reason I have it on now is because I had to go to a meeting today and I thought I'd better put some color on my face. But enjoy it while it lasts, because it doesn't happen very often. My camera's a little bit low because I'm trying to get this canvas in, so I'm a little bit cut off, but that's fine, because when I start painting it's the canvas that you want to see, not me. What I'm going to be doing today is sort of a landscapey thing. It's quite a zoomed in of a picture of a rock pool with some light streaming through some foliage. I have got a canvas here. Let me move out of the way. I've got a canvas here that was given to me by my dear photographer friend Tracy, that is actually a photographic canvas. Now I am not in any way suggesting that you guys do this. Oh, gotta get down. I'm not in any way suggesting that you guys do this. I'm only doing it because I've got the canvas, and Tracy gave it to me, so I'm going to use it. It was apparently one of her dad photographs. So what I've done is I've coated the canvas with some acrylic texture medium, and I've put it on with a nice thick like a spatula that you ice a cake with. I've smeared it onto the canvas so that I've got quite a lot of texture on the canvas, and I've covered it with some burnt sienna. I've covered it with some burnt sienna, and it's given me a really nice textured ground for a contemporary painting. Now the fact that I can still see what was originally on the canvas is not an issue. It's going to get painted over completely, so try and ignore what was on the canvas before. So what I'm going to do with this is paint it very contemporary. I'm not going to concentrate on talking to you about contemporary painting at the moment. We're talking about light. We will do contemporary painting and the ethos and the psyche behind contemporary painting. We'll do that at a later stage. I think it's, sorry guys, I think it's going to be a whole other conversation. It gets very active. I work with a nice big brush, you know, the whole body sort of gets into it, and it's really great fun. Just enjoy watching it for now, please. Don't be too fussed about what I'm actually doing. Like I say, we will address it. By all means, drop questions into the comments, or send me private messages if you've got questions to ask about this contemporary thing. But we will address it, folks. In fact, it's going to come up quite soon that we start talking about contemporary painting. So I've started off on my palette with some colors that I've already mixed, and I've mixed them relatively soft. So I've got a 25-75% mix, 25% alkyd, 75% terps. I've got a few colors mixed. I've got a green that I mixed by using moss and permanent green together, about 50-50, because moss is quite transparent and I wanted some opacity in it, so I put some transparent green into it. It also lifted up the color a little bit, made it more bright. I've got a blob of burnt sienna and Naples yellow that made a nice lovely juicy orangey color, and then I've got a nice big blob of burnt umber. I've got a nice big blob of burnt umber. It's just those three colors to start off with, and I'm going to be painting the back, painting forward, or should I put it, I'm going to be painting the darks to lights. Now it's obviously the items, the elements in the painting that are in the foreground, or that are closer to the foreground, that will be catching most of the light in this particular composition. And I think pretty much most compositions are going to get that. Unless something is backlit where the edges are catching the light, your lighting is going to come from the top or the front, where most of the front items are going to be catching the light, and the darker items are going to be in the back. So not only am I painting from further into the landscape towards me, but I'm also painting from darkest to lightest. So at the early stage of the painting, I almost completely ignore the light. Completely ignore the light areas. I'm only going to be putting in the very darkest of the areas. So right at the moment, this is probably not going to make a heck of a lot of sense to you, but if you keep watching over the next couple of days, it'll slowly but surely start to emerge from the canvas and slowly but surely start to become more and more visible. Now, I love the way I stand in front of the camera and say that with such confidence, because when I'm doing it on camera, and I'm literally videoing it when you guys see it, when you guys see it early in the morning, I've either videoed it late at night, or if you're seeing it in the afternoon, I've videoed it that day. So I don't prepare videos well in advance and give myself time to screw up and redo. So if I screw up, I'm screwing up on camera. So again, and this is part of the screwing up, cutting off the top of my head. So again, I hope I don't let you down, but if anything else, is going to be great fun, and it's certainly going to demonstrate to you the quality of light. It's what I'm trying to get through. I think that's it. Let me get painting. Now you can see the brush I'm using. It's a 2-inch hogshair brush, really nice and old and well worn in. And I like to use a hogshair brush for the first part of the painting, because it really gives me a chance to get in there and get active. You know, there's a reason that we call this activating the canvas, because you are literally getting active with your canvas. So this is contemporary painting, folks. It's about what comes from inside of you. So I'm not doing a whole lot of planning. This thing is going to become organic, and it's going to grow out of the canvas, I hope. Now, yes, guys, I know that it actually looks like a dog's breakfast at the moment, and what is actually more of a problem is that you can't really see the top of it because of the lighting in this art room. Folks, lots of teething problems to be sorted out, but it will get done. Now at the end of this painting, there's a lot of these brush strokes that are still going to be visible. I love the organic interaction of artist and canvas at this stage of the painting, and I love the fact that when the painting is done, you can see what the artist started with. So these, particularly on the outside, I kind of leave those there on purpose, because I just really enjoy that. Now at this stage, I'm probably doing what is sort of equivalent to our underpainting, when we're doing paintings that are a little bit more planned, should I say, and this would be blocking in, I guess. But I suppose in terms of contemporary work, we sort of refer to this as activating your canvas. You're getting your canvas active. Now what's going to happen here, this is going to be trees and foliage. There's light streaming through here. There's rocks, and there's a rock pool right in the foreground. And these rocks over here are catching the light really strongly, and you've got the light streaming down here. So this is all going to make sense to you later on. Right at the moment, I do understand it looks absolutely nothing like what it's going to look like. And that is the one thing about contemporary work that I really enjoy, is that this slowly but surely starts to coalesce into something. Guys, I know you can't see my head on the camera there, as long as you can hear my voice. Please don't make thousands of comments saying, Dalene, do you know your head wasn't in the frame? Yes, I know. But if I zoomed out enough to have my head in the frame, then the painting would be very small and hardly visible. So I'd rather you see the canvas than me. Well, believe it or not, that is the start of a painting. That dog's breakfast will one day be a painting. So what I'll do now is I'll just zoom in a little bit closer and pull the canvas up a little bit closer so that you can actually see. Okay. With a large imagination, you can see a rock pull down here. You can see rocks across here, flat rocks. Trees on either side, lots of foliage, and a real beam of streaming light coming down with a bright reflection in the pool in the front here and reflections on the rocks. Can you see it? No, didn't think so. Neither can I, but we will. So that's it for now, artists. That's about as far as we can go on the first day, because that's now got to dry before we can start putting the rest of it on. And getting myself... This selfie with the camera thing is not easy. So I will see you tomorrow with the continuation of this painting. In the meantime, of course, I'm not going to be disappointed if you like and share. And I updated the YouTube channel yesterday, so there's a whole bunch of the videos that you may have missed out on that's on the YouTube channel. Please also share the YouTube channel around, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. That's what you want to do.